And if you could just take the last 30 seconds to find your seat. I'm trying to be smooth. I mean, I could go, all right, everybody, let's move around. Get on down, get your seat, let's go around. Let's go now.
You're going to get something to use for the next that you...
Put your foot in, do-shi-do. Awesome. You guys are the greatest kittens I've ever seen. Usually asking a crowd of people who are networking to come back to their seats, it takes 5 minutes. So thank you very much. Even with like five people. You guys know what you're doing. I got a crowd of experts here. Okay, so our next speaker, we're just gonna get right into it because, he's excited. He's ready to go. Please give a warm welcome to Robert, and if you're clutching your polling sheets, please fill them out.
Thanks, Matthew. So, can you guys hear me good, or is the audio good now, or?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's on the mic? Good.
We're not hearing the mic.
You're not hearing the mic?
We're just hearing you.
Just me? How about now? Now it's here on the mic? Okay. Okay, but we're recording, so it's good. Awesome. So how's everyone doing today? Good. Glad to see you here. You know, success is always 80% showing up, so I'm glad we're all here. And they say also it's two main things you need: focus and effort to be successful. And so, the focus is what I want to focus on. Because, sometimes you can get easily distracted, and there's a lot of things, we don't need to name all the things that can put you off track. But some of the things is not necessarily things as much as people, right? Having the wrong people in your life can sometimes push you in the wrong direction. So I always say that your net worth is directly tied to your network. So I commend all of you for being here. I'm honored to get to know each and every single one of you. What are your goals, desires, dreams? See maybe how we can collaborate, maybe help each other. They say the directly proportional, because the more people you know, chances are you're going to find a fit. And I can pretty much almost assure you that you have lots of people in this room that you would click if you just simply had enough time to meet and get to know on many levels. You would be helping each other. So it's a small world. I'm hearing a lot of people that are, from all over the place I've been, but I want to get down to cut to the chase. So I want to now give you an idea of who am I, and do you want to network with me? Okay, what do I bring to the table? Is that fair enough if I share with you? All right, so my name is Robert Patyk. I was born in Australia, and I moved here at the age of 8 with my parents, who grew up, by the way, in communism country, Poland at the time. So they actually kind of escaped from the country. So they went with no language, no money to Australia. I was born there. And hardworking electrician and registered nurse. And so, this is definitely, work hard, they say. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, pay your taxes, buy a house, live in it and consume, and then die. That's the plan. So who can agree? A lot of people, they don't have a plan. And if you don't make a plan, someone else will make it for you. So I'm here today to stress that, ask you a question rather. When do you want to retire? I want you to ask yourself, what do you want? Because if you don't know, then how can you get it? That's like saying, let's drive to New York and then hopefully we'll get there. You look at a roadmap, right? So you get the shortcuts. And you avoid also the pitfalls. So, when I moved here when I was 8 years old, fast forward to 10 years of age, I started being interested in, believe it or not, money. I was looking at how to do stock market, economy, trading, investing. I read every book, article, magazine to do with generating wealth. And I also started noticing something wrong in the school system.
Oh, really?
Right? I started to see that by simply asking questions, I got into trouble. And I started to see the lack of information. But grade 7, my grade 7 teacher asked me, Robert, do you mind coming up to the front of the class and teach the class about stocks? Because he had the wherewithal to know that it's not in the curriculum, but at least he wanted me to share with the students. I was already reading the newspaper back in the day when we had fractions, we didn't even have decimals, and I was reading yesterday's prices today. It's very slow motion, but nonetheless, I was very interested in it and intrigued. Obviously, anything you do at the age of 10, it's your hobby. And I also believe whatever you're passionate about, you will naturally get good at. So, that continued, and from the age of 10 to age of 15, the $500 my parents gave me grew, it doubled in 5 years, okay. My sister, though, she made more than me. She also got $500, and she never paid attention. She was not caring about her stocks. So I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, that's something wrong here. I'm looking at it every day. There's got to be a better way. I also did the crunching of the numbers, and the compound interest said I maybe have a Lamborghini when I'm a million years old. No thanks, I don't want to wait that long. So I'm like, okay, let's figure out how to do it ourselves. Because now we've got control over our own finances, over our family's finances, and we can have better results than trusting with a stranger that you may not even know with your entire nest egg. So at age 15, I actually went into the bank to tell my financial advisor that I was there to fire her. But before I said it, she said, let's look at your results. You made 15% return last year. And she's like, wow, that's amazing. And not knowing that I came here to fire her for that reason. And the reason being is, I said, well, what do you mean it's good? She's like, well, you could have lost 5% last year. And so it dawned on me that, thinking that someone else is going to care about your money more than you, it's actually correct. They want to collect as many assets as possible, and they're not even having time to go after making sure that it performs for you, because they have quotas to meet. And it's like I call golden handcuffs. So not all financial advisors are bad, by the way. Okay, so disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Anything I say today, don't hold me liable. Okay. Okay, so do your own due diligence and do seek the services of a certified professional, because I legally have to tell you to do that. Okay, but now back to the story. So what happens with the financial advisor, I took back control. I started self-directed trading. And by the age of 15, I started getting pretty high above average returns, to the point now where age 21. I'm in high school. In high school economics 12, I was teaching the class because I kept pointing out the word inflation is wrong in the textbook. This year, everyone is finding out inflation. Okay, I have posts from Facebook just popping up on my stories here. 12 years ago, I mentioned, look out for food prices, look out for inflation. And now, today, we are actually living in historic times. So, age 21, I did win first place in the world in a stock trading competition. So I've traded everything: stocks, options, commodities, forex, crypto, you name it. Nafis was mentioning earlier. But I'm not here to impress you, but impress upon you that I've been in the game a long time. And I'm about to tell you something that I think all of you can use today and leave with value, because we are living in historic times. To give you an idea, when I wrote an article or a report in grade 9, geography, we had any topic we could pick. I picked the Great Depression as my topic. And so today, we have a similarity with 1907. Who can tell me what happened in the year 1907? Does anyone remember?
They're not that old. Boys in the line.
Just over here. He's just Matthew knows.
So 1907 was a financial crisis set off by a series of bad banking decisions and a frenzy of withdrawals caused by public distrust of the banking system. And then we had later the Great Depression. So today, or rather 2 days ago, we had a bank failure in the United States. So today, I'm going to give you some value on how to recession-proof yourself. Okay, so this bank is called Silicon Valley Bank. Who's heard of this story? Okay, so The problem with this bank, if I compare it to 2008 financial crisis, we remember what happened back then, right? So Bear Stearns, what was the date that it failed? It was March. We're in March right now. It was actually March 13th. We're March 11th today. And we just had a failure, the second largest bank failure in the United States ever, just happened a couple days ago. Now the problem with this bank is that it is an investment bank that is responsible for almost half of the venture capital put into tech companies and health companies in the stock market. Meaning, for example, Roku is a company. I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying that they keep 26% of their cash in this bank and they cannot access it right now. So Silicon Valley Bank dropped 60% on Thursday. It dropped again 68% on Friday for a total of 87% decline over 2 days. And now we have the weekend. Welcome to 2008 March, when I had predicted also, by the way, 3 recessions a year before they happened in rooms such as this. Publicly, I wasn't selling anything. I was just saying, be careful with real estate, be careful with stocks, because I've been researching them for 100 years back. And I have been waiting for this opportunity for 30 years. That's how long I've been trading. And I want to stress upon you that I'm not just trying to be all doom and gloom and scare you, but there's a thing called survive and thrive. So by being prepared, you can actually position yourself in anticipation when everyone else is losing their shirt to actually prosper and protect yourself at the same time and be on the receiving end of all that money that's about to be lost. Canadian banks already lost $16 billion in the last 2 days. There's the contagion. These are exact words that were thrown around in 2008, contagion, which is spreading from bank to bank, where I will tell you exactly what happened back then. Banks were scared to lend money to each other because they were scared that that bank will be disappearing within a week and they won't get their loan back. Liquidity crunch will be the next words you're going to hear next week. And then you're going to hear government must save them to avoid the spillover. So earlier today, someone asked me about what are interest rates going to do. Are they going to keep going up? I'm saying no, they won't. They're about to create an emergency cut of 100 basis points in the US to save this contagion from happening, because they know that if they start dominoes falling, there's no stopping them. And I believe this time is actually going to materialize what I said on a stage like this in 2006 and 2007. 5 times at an event like this, I used this exact sentence. Quote, we're about to have the greatest depression in the history of Earth ever within the next 2 to 24 months, end quote. They kicked the can down the road. They did Band-Aid solutions. They managed to postpone the inevitable. And we had the longest bull market in history, where the prices just went up. Everything, asset bubble. We are in the everything bubble. The problem is what goes up must come down. But what goes down doesn't necessarily have to come back up. So how do you protect yourself? How do you position yourself to not just survive this coming perfect storm, which is actually the warning signs I learned how to look at, because I lost real money during the tech bubble crash. That's when I learned my lesson. So I knew what flags to look out for to warn people in the following recessions. And right now, if something takes 10 years to go up, but it can fall just as much in 1 year, well, if Nafis knows, you can learn how to profit whether things go up and when things go down. So you have a chance to make 10 years of income in a single year if you learn how to position yourself to prosper on the way down. And I'm not talking about buying the dip. You'll hear a lot of that talk coming soon, and it's not even close. But I'm talking about riding the dip. And that's Teryn's sentence. She came up with that, so I got to give her props for that. So, but you know, the thing is, who can tell me what is money? I have some here.
It's a dead instrument.
Well, who can tell me the difference between these two? One is ripped and one isn't. But they're both worthless. They're worth absolutely nothing. This one is Mexican peso, 20 pesos. We've got Venezuelan money. We've got Cuban money here. 1,000 bolivars from Venezuela. You can find these on the street in Venezuela, and people will walk by and not even bend over to pick them up anymore. So there's a big difference between what I call currency and money. Who can tell me what money is, besides Matthew?
Store of value.
But what are some examples? If we have currency like this that I'm saying is not worth anything, what is real money then?
Money is a promissory note. Currency, you're looking at things like gold, silver, platinum.
Exactly. She hit the nail on the head. You get a prize for that. So, money is bullion, physical gold and silver that you can touch. It has been money for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now, I'm not hating on Bitcoin because it's only been around since 2008, right after the Great Recession. It's not built up a big enough track record for me. Now, do I trade Bitcoin? Yes, absolutely. Do I profit when it goes up and down? Yes, I have a Facebook group called Crypto Trading. We've been streaming live for 2 years in a row. We average 50 to 80% per month, consistently, every single month without a single losing month, live streamed. Okay, so it is possible to make money in crypto trading. Do you need to be aware what the regulators are doing? We have big changes coming. Has anyone heard of the Great Reset?
Yes.
We have now a currency reset about to happen. People are going to get wiped out completely. I'm talking even billionaires going to zero if they don't know how to position themselves. You can do something about it. In fact, whoever is watching this, if it's not too late, go to the bank and take all your money out. Except for as little as possible you keep in there just for paying what you need to pay for right now, but you will thank me one day. Because I'm not trying to be the one that's spurring a bank run. It's already happening. And they've happened multiple times over history. In Argentina, we've had in Italy. Just last night, I went to the bank ATM machine to pull out $200. I have photos of this I took. It says, we are closing this ATM machine in May. And what are you going to do if there's all these branches already closed across the United States, banks closing down completely? If they say, oh, you cannot come into the bank to touch your money. Or what if they say that we have none, simply? Or what if they restrict your withdrawals to $50 per day, even if you have $1 million? So Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, that little sticker in the corner of the front of the bank that says, we promise to insure to get you all your money back. If people believe that sticker, then in theory, it works. It stops people from rushing to get their money out. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we have all of the stock markets running to get their money out of the banks. All of the stock market firms holding their cash in Silicon Valley Bank, racing each other to get their cash out before there's none left. So we are about to have, on a biblical proportion, financial meltdown. What can you do about it? Get out of some of this while people still think it's not Venezuelan money. And I'm talking about the US dollar, Canadian dollar, any other currency. So yes, I do trade currencies. Yes, I will continue to trade whatever is possible to trade. We have an opportunity to make money in the markets while there still is a market. Because I see the direction things are going with the regulators trying to be central control over the currency. So I'm not going to get into too many details because we only have a few minutes left. But I will be doing more presentations. You are all welcome to stay in touch with me to see the presentation on how I predicted the recession in 2008. What do I see coming for this coming storm, to put it lightly, more like a hurricane. And these are what banks are saying. So I look forward to getting to know all of you more because I've also didn't have time to mention I did learn also the hard way. I've made all the mistakes when it comes to trading already. I want you to pick my brain and learn from me, use me, so that you don't have to learn the difficult way on how to learn the hard way, what I had to go through. So same thing in real estate. In 2008, I lost a property here in Vancouver, a condominium. It was a sub-penthouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. to the bank. I lost it, wiped me out, and I had to either stay down or dust myself off and get back up again. Success is not just making a lot of money. It's about what you do when each and every single one of us eventually has a setback. That is what I think is the success definition. So what did I do 3 years later? I went to a town, Windsor, Ontario. I made it onto the news within a year for buying 100 units in a single year with no cash, no credit, no walking into the bank. Actually, I had terrible credit. It's even worse than no credit. All right. So the point is, there are ways to do things. If you look at creative financing, I've done 12 different styles of real estate. Later on, I'll probably share in the next session what are the different styles of real estate I've done and how anyone can do them. No credit, no income verification. You can build a portfolio. And not only that, your real estate can be recession proof. I'm talking about while prices are falling, you're not losing money in your real estate, because I've combined trading the markets. Remember, we could profit when they'd fall? Having a little bit of money set aside like insurance against the market, because if stocks fall, real estate usually falls too, right? And now we can actually not just protect our real estate holdings, because a lot of people also still have real estate, but you can do two birds with one stone. You can not lose money, and you can actually pay them off faster. I'm talking about right now, every property that I purchase, I strive to have them entirely paid off. It's just a goal within 3 to 5 years. Okay, and that's not putting a single penny of my own or my clients' or partners' money into those buildings. And not only that, my partners, they get all their funds back within 3 years and the property paid off, and we buy 2 more properties with the reserves that we have up front when we start off from day one. So there's a recession-proof way to do real estate. There's a recession-proof way to make your cash recession-proof, and that is to simply, I won't say not have any cash. You may want to get some physical US dollars, because believe it or not, that's only 2% of all the US dollars that are out there. The rest are just typed into a computer, and they're about to become digital and attached to your ID. Okay, this is, if you don't believe me, you can look up the Financial Action Task Force website. They have a report they wrote in 2020, June, saying on page 2 that by the year 2022, which was last year, we're going to have 60% of the world GDP digitized. It's 2023. All of the pieces of the puzzle, I see the geopolitics, what's happening around the world, because as a trader, I look at charts, I look at the news, fundamentals, sentiment, everything, geopolitics, what's happening. Think of it as a chessboard. And I'm not liking what's going on right now. I'm not going to get into it, but you do see what's happening in Ukraine, Turkey, Finland, Russia, a whole bunch of stuff where, it's all leading to the same conclusion. We're going to have a big shift in cash. We're going to have a big shift in real estate prices, stock prices, everything is definitely now the time to fill out on your form before you forget. Don't even wait to the break. Put your phone number or email. Let's sit down, let's have a conversation or a Zoom call. You can also schedule with me, it's free, no obligation, no pressure, just to sit down, see how to bring your trading or investing to the next level, and you can go robertpatyk.com. So it's robertpatyk.com to schedule with me a session. So I hope you guys, how are we for time?
2 more minutes, you're good.
So does anyone have any questions? Because there's stuff you can do also with insurance, with taxes, with different things, right? And I think that if I'm going to leave you with one thing, it's get unbanked. Get unbanked. In 2008, we had bailouts. Does anyone remember? Yep. We're about to have those, except they're going to be more nasty. They're going to be called bail-ins. The bank now no longer has to go to the government to get cash. They can go to your bank account. Let's say you have $100,000. Sorry, sir, you now have $90,000. We had to take 10 grand for ourselves, otherwise we'll go bankrupt. Do you mind? Well, you don't have a choice. And that's only if you can walk into the bank, if they didn't chain it up with the policeman in front saying you can't even get inside. So be very careful now today with your cash, with your money. Start learning the financial literacy. Reach out to someone that has been paying attention to the markets And I'm always trying to be efficient. I understand that it's, wealth isn't money, it's time. I would love to be able to have a chance to work with you to help you get back your time and get 90 years of real estate investing done in 10 years. Literally 10 times faster, and same thing with the market. So let's take a look at your situation, and I would love to get to know you more and maximize understanding that cycles happen, and when things go down, those are the opportunities. We are about to have the largest opportunity in the history.
For 1 second here. So how many people here are going to be following up with Robert? Fantastic. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. He's going to be speaking again for our second event today after 2. So if anybody wants to stay, you're welcome to stay. You don't have to RSVP again. It's all good. Okay. Thanks so much again, Robert.
Thank you for putting this on. This is really amazing that people connect.
You're getting your own event soon.
Yeah, we are starting a monthly real estate event, and we'll start doing a weekly Zoom for opportunities for real estate, because I have many opportunities right now that people can buy with 5% down, 3% down, 1% down. I even bought a property in Windsor almost for $100.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right,
Robert.
thanks.
Appreciate it. One more. Yeah, one more. I love you guys so much. We will. When it's in private. You want one too? We're going to do another networking portion. That's one thing I'd like to say though. Our raffle prizes. Is everybody aware what our raffle prizes are?